One moment that changed my life forever was when I was sitting on my living room couch late at night with just my pup and I started to have thoughts and feelings of shame and self sabotage. Now, these kinds of thoughts are just another Tuesday for me. But these thoughts had a dark undertone to them. The feelings were so strong inside my body, it felt like a pipe of emotions had bursted inside me, and I needed to find the shutoff valve. Where is the shutoff valve? So many thoughts were swirling through my brain. But tonight was different. Because tonight, I thought, what if you end this pain once and for all? Who's really going to miss you? So I started to plan everything out of my head. Who would take care of my dog? Would I write a note? To whom would I write the note to? They'd always wonder why I did it. So what's the point? Once I realized where my thoughts were leading me and how much I bought into this narrative, it made me wonder, how did I get here? I mean, life has not been easy, but what possessed me to believe that life was not worth living? That night, I realized that not only do I need to find where the shutoff valve is, I need to do a full inspection of the entire house. This moment tore down all of my walls that exposed my past trauma. It uncovered what I was unwilling to acknowledge. And I had no choice but to see what was right in front of me. So I decided to reach out to a contractor, I mean therapist, to help me rebuild. But not only rebuild, she helped me realize that I was the architect. I have this opportunity to rebuild the way I want. It was tough, though, because I didn't have any experience. But I was eager to learn. As I started my inspection, intrusive thoughts would come through and say things like, "What gives you the right? Because nobody physically harmed you. You had it so easy compared to. Why do you even think you're worth all this work? Because you're a divorced woman. Not once, but twice. Not only do you not have children, you can't even stay married." I'm sure some of us can relate to those kinds of thoughts that keep us small. And they hurt. It cuts straight to the bone. But I have tools now to combat those thoughts and replace them with new ones. Thankfully, I had a therapist to help me work through those thoughts and feelings to avoid falling behind. She gave me the tools to say no thank you to those annoying neighbors. Now you're probably wondering, what does any of this have to do with money? It has very little to do with physical money. It has everything to do with wealth. We associate wealth with dollars, but ignore how wealthy we actually are. We get paralyzed in fear of not having enough instead of focusing on what is right in front of us. And we worry how people perceive us rather than defining what wealth truly means to us. Those pesky neighbors coming around saying, "Who do you think you are spending money on yourself?" They might be saying, if you don't buy that house or lease that car, what will your family and friends think of you? If you admit that you cannot afford to go on that cruise that everybody else is going on, what does that say about you? You might be hearing, let's hurry up and spend that money before it disappears. Many of us have heard this. Rich people are bad. Money makes people bad, and I am not a bad person. Therefore, I should not be rich. We all have some narrative running in the background that sometimes benefits us and many times holds us back from enjoying the money we earn. These narratives are stemmed from childhood or a traumatic event that harnesses the feelings of fear and inadequacy that live inside of our body, and sometimes we don't even know. because we are on autopilot. When we're ready to take control of our financial futures, we need to know the narrative that is holding us back and be committed to making positive changes for our life of wealth.